Okay, this is the Board of Health meeting, January 24th, 2022 at 5:30 PM. Can I get a roll call, please?
Gavin Byers.
James Leclerc.
And Chris Nosella. Our administrator is on the line, but Rick, I think you're gonna take notes for me.
Carla said she was, unless that's not happening anymore.
I don't know. Kyle, are you taking notes?
I'll take notes.
I can take notes on it.
Yeah, no, we're recorded, but we'll let Rick take notes, cause he knows what he's doing, so.
Okay, that would be helpful.
Okay, addition or deletion, not anticipated in 48 hours. Our COVID public hearing has been canceled. The board has decided in a work session that we are going to take no action at this time. Can we go to, Rick, I'm gonna skip COVID.
Yeah.
And go to, 1.4, 63 Adams Road. Jim, have you seen these?
I reviewed them actually last night.
Oh, okay. Hey, actually, you know what? Now that we got room, I can actually move over here.
So I've already gone back and forth with the engineer, so the copy that you got is the revised one based on my comments. So it is a upgrade of a failed system, they're selling the house. Driveway comes kind of up through here and then comes to this garage, you can see right there. Existing system is in the front right here. They've got some wetlands here and then a stream that comes up and along here, and also a stream that comes down the side. And it's a 6-acre parcel, but the issue is that it's basically littered with wetlands. So the only spot that they really had was in this location where they kind of split the difference between all the wetlands.
Oh, that's like in the backyard.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're gonna keep the septic tank and the pump chamber up where the system is now, so that they don't have to redo the plumbing. And then pump up and around, yeah, to a Presby system. And in order to make it all work, they are asking for a few variances.
Okay.
Which are listed right here. So the first one is to your regulations, regulation 13, for a reduction to the wetlands from 100 feet down to 58 feet and 66 feet. So 58 feet on this side, 66 over here.
They pretty much would have no choice.
It's really, it's the best case scenario for an existing condition.
Jim, that's one of those things that when we look at and go, there's really no other place to go? Is that one of the?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. Looking at the drawings, they've done the best they can with what they have to work with, because you're just about centered between the wetlands.
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, and so they're asking for one other thing, which is a reduction in the groundwater offset from 4 feet to 3 feet. And the reason that they're asking for that is because, I guess, the Conservation Commission has a 35-foot area that they want you to keep out of. And by asking for that 1 foot reduction, it keeps the grading outside of that 35 feet. And it's still, pretty substantial amount of grading that they've got to do in there. So it seems to, everything that they're asking for seems to make sense to me.
Okay, now, Jim, you said you had something you wanted to change.
I do indeed. On the actual drawing with all the typing on it, if you look up in the top left corner, there's a remote vent detail.
Yep.
Anybody see that?
Yep.
Okay, the remote
Is that
vent
it? What is
detail
that?
says drill holes at the low point to drain the condensation.
Yep.
I don't think that that's adequate. I think that little piece of pipe to the right side, that should be perforated pipe, and that should be all sewn under that, so that's gonna last
Oh,
for the duration.
see?
So that detail is right out of the Presby manual. So that's how they want it done.
I don't agree with it, Rick. They need more than that. There's
They-
not even a dimension there, 1/4 inch hole,
Um,
it's not enough. By throwing a piece of perforated pipe in there, that covers all.
my concern is the manufacturer. Are we changing the manufacturer's guarantee at all by
No,
changing
we're
their
adding
piping?
to it. We're adding to it.
Okay, you sure?
Yeah, it's only an improvement.
Okay. I gotta ask Rick about that, cause
Yeah, go for it.
I don't like changing manufacturer's drawings. They've done the engineering and stuff to make it work, but,
Systems are new, they haven't been around
What, these
An
Presby
experienced
ones?
guy can- Yeah, an experienced guy like myself can tell you they need more holes.
And that's,
That .25, Jim, is .25 cubic feet of crushed stone, not the hole size.
And there is no dimension for the hole they're gonna put in.
Right.
How do
Drill
you know what
holes
type
at
of hole?
one point,
Yeah, it just says hole, drill holes, you're right.
in plural.
Yeah, and by putting a piece of perforator right there, that covers all.
so you're looking for like a French drain?
No, just
Yeah,
a
you
piece of
wouldn't wanna do
perforated
that.
pipe that will go in a regular septic system.
Yeah,
That's gonna be FCR 35, I'm sure.
okay.
That's just an upgrade on that little venting, so we make sure the water's gonna be not pocketing there to stop that vent.
Okay, how much pipe do you think they need?
I would say 2 feet or a little bit more. 2 feet would be happy with me.
Okay. Now you're looking from the elbow out 2 feet?
From where the stone is illustrated at the bottom of the elbow,
Yep.
out to the right, 2 feet to the next elbow.
That's up to you guys. I would go by the manufacturer's recommendations. It's the same on all the Presby's.
Okay, Jim, I'm gonna ask, cause this is not my thing.
If Rick is content with that, I am not, because I don't think that there should have been an illustration here, what size hole should be put in there. And one hole will clog, where if you put a piece of perforated pipe there, you're gonna have 12 or 16 holes.
Well, it says drill holes, plural.
Yes, but it doesn't say what size or anything else.
Right, yeah.
Can you get us can you look that up and find out what it requires for holes?
That's all, I mean, that is the detail right out of the manual, they
Yeah,
took the
that
PDF
can
and
be
put it
the
right on there.
detail, but we can supersede the detail with the Board of Health. We can put more perforation in that so that doesn't clog.
Okay. No, I understand that, and it's not a bad idea. I don't think it's gonna cost a shitload more.
It won't cost anything, the pipe's already on site.
Yeah, all right, you've gotta make a recommendation on your hole sizes and how many holes you want.
Oh, the hole sizes are already in the perforated pipe. You buy a piece of perforated pipe, it's already got the holes in it. I think they're gonna be 5/8 or 3/4 inch holes.
Okay, and you're looking for a 2-foot piece.
A 2-foot piece would be adequate in my opinion.
Okay, and that would, and you're good with,
That's gonna extend the longevity of the vent working properly.
no, what I'm saying is you're gonna be happy with the a quarter cubic foot of crushed stone under the pipe?
The crushed stone should follow the length of the pipe
Okay, and the crushed stone's only for leaching?
for leaching, exactly.
Okay. All right, give Rick a minute. Oh, he's looking up something.
Yeah, I'm just looking,
Yeah.
seeing if I can pull the.
Yeah, I wanna see if they actually say to use what size hole or something, as opposed to them just saying drill a 1/4 inch hole, 2 holes,
Right.
which would,
If I were the installer, I'd put the piece of pipe in just to make it a better job, because all it is a drain hole. And
Yeah.
having no dimensions there by the manufacturer, that's kind of silly.
yeah. I don't know this is your thing. I understand what you're saying. It does make sense to me. And 2 feet of pipe is nothing. I mean, the cost of that is minimal. The amount of stone is minimal.
The stone's already on site.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, cause they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you mean underneath that vent, there's gonna be stone throughout?
0.25 cubic feet. It's like, so you're gonna have warm air coming in and you potentially have cold air on the outside, so you're gonna have some condensate, and that's why we typically have like a raised header that'll gravity feed back into the system and drain out the lines.
Okay.
So,
A quarter foot of stone is bigger than nothing. It's not gonna mount to a rat bust at a Montana lizard. So if they put a little bit more stone there and they put a piece of perforated pipe, you got a better job.
And I agree with that. Now, are we gonna tell them how much stone to put in, or are we just going to?
It'll be in conjunction with the length of the pipe to go,
Yeah.
at least, 12 inches both sides of the pipe, 6 inches deep.
Okay.
Can we make it a recommendation?
As far as being a Board of Health member, I'm gonna say no, I wanna see it
I don't wanna outvote you, Jim, I just, this is your thing, buddy.
If it wasn't something brought to my attention by looking at these, I wouldn't have
Yeah.
said a word about it, but I think it could be improved on.
Okay,
It's gonna be in the ground for a long time, we don't want that clogging up.
okay, so here's the deal. You are gonna make the motion, cause you know what you want.
Okay. Now, you want the other two put in there, the 35-foot offset and, I forgot the first one you said.
The 3-foot, depth.
Groundwater, okay, and I make a motion that we go with 3-foot groundwater offset, I make a motion that we accept the buffer zones the way they are to stay in compliance with what conservation is recommending. And I also would like to make a motion with that we put a 24-inch of perforated pipe being, on top of 3/4-inch trap, go 12 inches both sides of the pipe, at least 6 inches deep.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye,
thank you very much.
thank you, sir, and that's why you're here. Well, that's why you're there and we're here. Okay,
Alright.
so now, as far as signing this goes, Rick, they owe us $50 and we need owners' signatures.
Yeah.
Now, do we sign this with the way it's written, or do we need to retype this?
I'll make a change. The issue with this one is if they don't get their permit tonight, then they're not closing.
Right, go ahead, Kyle.
It's a problem for them.
Are you coughing, or what are you doing?
If it's okay, if you wanna sign that, I'll just type it in or handwrite it in,
Okay,
what you're asking.
yeah, we'll do
You
that.
don't wanna stop them from.
No, absolutely not.
No, you got it.
Alright, go ahead, Gavin, you're up. Jesus, you're coughing too.
Oh, it's been 9 days.
Yeah.
My God, can you guys hear him?
Who, Ziggy? We love Ziggy.
Yeah.
He's fine.
I'm trying to support my.
No, Kyle, he's fine. He's fine. Okay, that'll take care of that one. Are you in a hurry, Jim, or something?
I've got another engagement at 6 o'clock, unfortunately.
So
I can call you back. I got a phone call coming in. I can call you back after the phone call.
Okay, we're gonna continue with the, COVID update, I guess.
What we got?
And I don't really have much of a COVID
Yeah.
update, nothing's changed since Friday.
Right.
Yeah,
Um,
that's crazy.
Alright, so we're gonna take that one off. Alright, let's go to, Three-Wheeler Road Renewal Management Plan, no update at this time.
So I do have a little bit of an update, cause in
Okay.
between when I told Carla I hadn't heard from the woman at Mass DAR, and now I did hear back from her.
Yeah,
So I explained what the Shepherds were proposing, and she said, I don't think there are any issues with it, but before I tell you for sure, I wanna check with my peers and make sure. So she said she would get back to me, and I would expect sometime this week, hopefully.
okay. Alright, that takes care of that. And 22 Sauna Row Road, Title 5 discussion. What do you got, Rick?
So, the pot says they're here to discuss that property. They've been in before, to talk about.
Is this the one near the lake?
It is, yep.
Okay,
So,
little house. Yes.
I had, I've talked to Jane several times since we last met, and I talked to Mike Whittemore from Aero Septic, who
Yep.
she had come out to look at the system. So now we know what it is. It's a cesspool on the opposite side of the street, and we had looked at that 19 Sonoro Road recently where they
Yeah.
had actually located it. So they know what it is. The issue that Mike is having with completing the system, the inspection is one, there's a pretty thick concrete slab on the top of it. And so it's been complicated to try to figure out how he's gonna get in there to determine what it looks like inside. And the other part is that currently the property is drawing water from the lake. And so they don't have a well serving the property. And so he's saying, well, if the water supply is the lake or the pond, and I've gotta draw a water sample because it's within 100 feet of the septic system, there's obviously gonna be bacteria in it. So how do I deal with this? And I said, well, that's a good question, because I don't know. So there is a provision in Title V, it's in 15.301, which is the inspection section.
My concern is, and just me, is they're drawing, are they drawing drinking water out of the pond?
I don't know if they're drinking it, but yeah, I mean, that's the only water source, right?
Yeah.
For the property.
No, we're the prospective buyers, but the.
Oh, you guys haven't bought that yet?
No, we can't.
Because of the whole Title V
Right.
issue.
Okay.
So there's a thing within Title V that says, that you've gotta do an inspection, that has to be at least within 3 years of transfer of title. But that if weather conditions preclude inspection at the time of transfer, the inspection may be completed as soon as weather permits, but in no event later than 6 months after the transfer, provided that the seller notifies the buyer in writing of the requirements of 310 CMR 15.300 to 305. So basically, you know, because of the weather conditions, that slab being what it is,
Yeah.
it's gonna make it really hard to do an inspection right now. They wanna purchase the property regardless of the result of the inspection. So my thought is, if we allow them to transfer under that piece of Title V, that gives them time to figure out the water supply part and the Title V inspection part, and hopefully within 6 months, it can all be resolved when they own the property and things are a little bit easier to make that happen.
Yeah, cause that'll be sometime in late June or July by the time.
Is there
It's fine
any
for that.
percentage of a chance that there's no way to get a well, no way to get clean water?
There's gonna be variances regardless of whether, you gotta give them a water supply, which means you have to get a well on the property somewhere, and then they've gotta have a means of sewage disposal. And so right now, at least from what I've heard, the cesspool is actually in pretty good shape.
Oh,
But the bigger issue is the water part of it. So it'll kind of buy us some time for them to figure that part of it out, and whether they wanna, whether the cesspool really does look good after they can, look in there with something other than a camera. And,
How big is the slab?
how big is what?
The slab?
It's
Is
thick.
it-
8 feet across. And it doesn't, to me, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but it appears that it wasn't poured and then put into location. It seems like there may have been something that they put on location, but the way it's mounded, it seems as if they just added more concrete to it, probably because that's where they would park their vehicles. So it's this massive
Yeah.
thing. At first, Mike Whitmore?
Yep.
Thought that he would, to do an inspection, he would, with a concrete saw, sort of cut a wedge-shaped piece so that that would be the access to it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he can still do that because it's so thick. It's about, I'm estimating 12 inches thick in the middle of this mound.
wow.
It's massive, so,
That can be cut, but he'd never pick that piece up
yeah,
by hand,
yeah.
you know?
So,
Okay, I'm signing off, I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah. So eventually, once we decide on, what we're gonna do for water, and then how that ties in, we'll get, Mike suggested someone that he knows that is already working on another piece of property on the pond, so they're familiar kind of with the area, that maybe we can we have to be able to figure something out, yeah.
So it's likely, it's a very skinny piece, and just that whole neighborhood where everybody's on private wells and septics, it's kind of, all over. You've got well radiuses everywhere, you've got radiuses off the
Yeah.
septic, so most of those just, they don't go in without variances. So the goal will be, max feasible compliance and what seems to make the most sense at the end of the day. But I think you're kind of working under that provision of Title V that gives them that 6 months to complete the inspection or system
How does
replacements.
that work with the well line?
The well, they've gotta figure out as part of that too, so.
You give them 6 months on the well also?
So they kinda just go together,
Okay.
so right now, they don't really have a potable water supply, which is a requirement.
I'm just afraid I don't want them to move in and be forced to drink pond water.
Well, no one has been drinking pond water. The water has been, used only, there's a shower
Yeah.
and a toilet. There is a sink, but it's probably but they probably just use it for cleaning, but any drinking water they brought in.
Okay.
And they live, 2 doors down,
Right.
so they've got their own house right there too.
Oh, you guys live there too?
Yeah.
A couple houses
Yeah,
down? So I think you'll be all set with water then.
yeah.
You'll probably run a hose.
So does that 6 months start at the closing date?
It would start from the date of closing.
Cool.
Yeah,
That
so
gives
up
you
to 6 months,
Yeah.
so you guys, if you're comfortable giving them amount of time, which I would, I think is fair under
Yeah,
the
I think that's
circumstances.
fine. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Someone that we know who is in construction said there's something called a point well or a driven well
Yeah.
that can be any place on,
It depends, it's an
Yeah.
option.
So the issue is how Townsend's well rigs are
Yeah.
written,
You
probably.
have to go 100 feet.
You gotta go at least 100 feet, and
Yeah.
point wells are usually 25 or 30 feet
Right,
deep.
right.
So it ends up being a drilled well most of the time. You're welcome to ask for variances, nobody ever has before. But typically, it's always been a drilled well when anybody's ever applied for one.
Okay.
I think back in the day, my house used to have a point well, and I actually have town water, but, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's traditionally, it was basically just groundwater, it wasn't really good water like a deep well. So, I would recommend it, but, you know, that's up to you guys, I guess, as long as you're going 100 feet, because that's a regulation.
Okay.
But just keep in mind, you're gonna be drinking it someday.
Yeah,
You know, or your kids, or your grandkids, whatever, someone in the family's gonna be drinking that.
Right, right.
Okay, so, you wanna make a motion?
So, it's a motion, it would be
I
a
don't,
motion.
it's not even really a motion, it's basically just like an
This is-
agreement that you guys are okay with them transferring title without the inspection, knowing that you've gotta do it within that 6 months.
Okay,
Yeah, that's.
yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
curious.
already a Title V reg, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
Yeah.
we
okay,
can- Cool.
so we're okay with that, now all you gotta do is, I guess, you send them a letter saying that the board okayed that?
I can, it's not really an okay, so what I can do is kind of provide you guys a summary so that we have a record that we had the discussion and you guys have a record that we had the discussion. And do it that way.
that's
Okay.
good.
Okay, very good,
All
guys.
right, thank you very much.
So, do you recommend your driven well though?
You pretty much don't really have a choice.
No,
You
can't
can't
do
do
it.
it.
You have to, no, you have to have at least 100 feet deep.
I thought he said you could get a variance maybe.
No.
You
not
could
for
ask for a variance, but
You're not gonna
no
get
one's,
that.
you have the right to ask for a variance. Whether you'll get one or not is a different story.
No, you run a pond 25 feet, you're in pond water. You're gonna need at least 100 feet on a well,
Okay,
okay?
all right.
All right, good luck, guys.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, other permits or reviews, Rick?
There wasn't any other ones.
Okay, we have no
Yep,
COVID
good night.
updates, so that's good. Legal updates?
So I think Carla had put this on for 5 Turnpike Road, Unit 220. So just give you guys a quick update. I went and did the inspection, with the Townsend Police, they came with me.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yep, that was on January 11th. And then I had to give a return of service to the court that had given us the search warrant.
Yep,
I issued the order to correct, and it was basically just, the apartment is just filled with trash, and it's bagged trash, so it's really just a matter of getting it from there to the dumpster. So I did get a call from the occupant of that unit, and she said that they were gonna be cleaning it up over this past weekend. So I haven't checked back in with her, but I will do that and see where things stand. My guess is that they're not gonna finish it in a weekend, but hopefully.
it's that
they
much
made-
stuff?
But hopefully they made good progress, and then I'll go back in and check. I did file an elder at risk report too, and spoke to them quite a bit, so they're gonna be checking in with her as well.
No, are they just tenants, or are they?
They're tenants, so, the landlord is in the process of evicting them,
Okay.
and so she was already kind of looking for alternative housing. But my hope was that by filing the elder at risk, they might be able to put her in a better situation for herself.
Yes, okay. And she's an older woman, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
So that's kind of where that stands. So right now, Adam's uninvolved in it. He got us to where we needed to, and, yeah, we'll see what
Hey, Jim.
happens from here.
Okay, yeah, how'd you make out with that little show there?
All good.
Good, yeah,
Okay.
all good.
All right, so let's, Jim, we went through legal notices, and it was basically about the, your favorite apartment, and,
That's not my favorite apartment, I know the condition it's in.
yeah, well,
I wouldn't put a sick dog in there.
yeah, well, they said they're gonna clean it, and there is, how do I put that, Rick? The landlord is evicting them, however long that takes, so that will be taken care of. Rick did go in, he did look with a policeman. You gave them
Order to correct.
order to correct, and he said that he will go back and check on them.
Okay, good, that's gotta be followed through, because it would be nice if they could get them out of there, because it's putting everybody else in harm's way.
Yeah, oh yeah, everybody around them and.
Yep.
Okay, so that's all set. We're gonna move on to invoices. You have a pen, so we will let you sign. This is Carla's travel voucher, which is for $47.01.
7 and 1. Where
Mm.
am I signing this?
Anyway. This is the fun one. I need to borrow your pen. I don't have a pen. Because Carla usually gives me one. Okay. This is for the propane at the recycle center for $621.37. $600. Yes, sir.
What is that thermostat set at?
Well, I can tell you that a person that uses propane all the time, propane has gone up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the thermostat set at? We're always trying to keep the pipe from freezing in the bathroom.
Apparently, we would have to get out and take a look, or we could ask Carla. Any idea, Carla?
I can't hear what he's saying, I'm sorry.
All right, I'll put you right next to him. Go ahead, Jim.
Okay.
Carl,
Hi,
what is
Jim.
the thermostat set at? Hi. What's the thermostat set at in that building?
I'm sorry?
What is the thermostat?
Where's the
set at
thermostat?
in
The
building?
thermostat is typically set at 56. I went in and turned it up, the other day when we had sub-zero temperatures before, they opened up, I think it was on the 5th or the 15th. But we had sub-zero temperatures, Jim, so I did go in the day before and I need the cash box and everything there and I did turn it up to 60. So, I'm sorry.
No. I'd rather pay the propane than pay the plumber, alright? So,
We lost one of our employees, one of, the cemetery employees, left because he was too cold. So, tried to, keep it to 60. Yeah, it's been really cold up here, Jim.
okay, I see one up, I understand that, so, that's just a big bill. I don't think we've had one that big before.
We've never had one.
No, that's a little bit out of whack, but you gotta pay it, it's cheaper to pay the propane than it is to pay the plumber.
Yes, sir, it is.
Carla, is that done once a year typically, or twice a year?
The propane?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's probably 3 to 4 times a year,
Yeah.
depending upon the weather.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
just
big
the weather,
building.
the propane, the only thing the propane does is heat that building.
Okay.
There's no other source of it, it doesn't go to the landfill, it's typically, it's solely for that recycling center that used to be a Quonset hut. And
Okay.
it's now a really fun place.
Yes. Okay, so we signed it, we're gonna pay it, we just don't like it. Anyway, okay, moving on. This is Staples. Staples is $69.78. Carla, I'm just gonna sign this because there is no face page for it.
No, there isn't, because I wasn't anticipating being upset, but I do believe that there should be something on there. I believe it's for the
okay?
Yep.
Yeah. We're just gonna sign the front page, Carla, which, will, give you our approval. And, you can do that when you get back, kid, when you feel better.
Yes, absolutely. If you could just sign the invoice, as well as, I believe you're gonna say the Unitil is coming up. If you could sign the actual invoice, and then I can put on the invoice cover sheet that shows the treasurer, the account, and where it actually needs to be paid from.
Okay,
The important thing is that we have your signatures on the actual invoice.
yep. Yep, we are signed. Okay, the next one is the $8.95 to send, our friend Jim LeQuire packages to look at drawings. So that one's signed. Okay, and we have Advo Waste, which is our needle, box outside. That's $95, $85.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna sign that invoice also.
Okay, you are collecting $5 for every kiosk that comes in. You're not making money, you're just providing the services to the town residents.
Yep.
You have a separate line item that tracks all of it, so it comes in and out of a separate fund, so you can track it.
Okay, very good. Okay, so that takes care of that, and then we have our lovely Unitel bill, which is way cheaper, oddly enough, than the propane. That is for, what appears on the bill is $142.63. Carla, we're gonna sign the front face of this also, and,
That is correct.
yep, and when you guys feel better, or you feel better, you can, type up the cover letter and submit it the way it needs to be done. Okay, next meeting is, on December 13th, at 5:30, I assume?
No, February 14th.
14th Times Day, you guys gonna.
Oh, minutes, I'm sorry. Yep, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Yeah, we just got, future agenda items, septic regulations put off till spring, stable put off till spring, and, the, fee schedule is put off till next month. Our next meeting is February 14th to 2022 at 5:30. That's all we have. Can I get a motion to, adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 6:06.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a good evening.
Hope you feel better, Carla.